Hello, my dear bachcho, and welcome back. I know, exams are just around the corner, and this chapter on organizing, well, it can feel a little tricky, right? But don't you worry one bit. We are going to master this together.
You open the book, you see all these pages on organizing, and your head just starts to spin, doesn't it? Trust me, it's a super common feeling, so please, don't you worry.
Chalo, let's do this. Your favorite tutor is here, and we're going to break this whole chapter down into simple, easy, bite-sized pieces, the kind you can actually remember for your exam. Okay, ready? Let's dive right in.
Okay, first things first. What exactly is this word organizing? I mean, what does it really truly mean in the world of business?
Okay, that sounds a bit textbookish, right? So, in simple words, it's really just about three things. Figuring out who does what, putting similar tasks together, and then making sure everyone knows who they report to, who their boss is. Simple as that.
And you know, this is the perfect example. You divide the one big job, the fate, into smaller, manageable tasks. You put different groups in charge of each one, and that's how you get things done smoothly.
Simple now.
So, here's the crucial point, bachcho. Organizing isn't just some random thing you do. No. It follows a very clear, very logical process. Let's break down the 4 simple steps.
Right now, you're probably asking, okay, but how is it actually done? Is there a formula for this? And the answer is yes, absolutely. And it's super logical.
Okay, here they are. First, you figure out everything that needs to be done, and you divide it up into small, manageable jobs. Step 2, you group all the similar jobs together into departments, like putting all the finance people in one place. Then, step 3, you assign these duties to the right people. And finally, you make it crystal clear who reports to whom. All right, now let's talk about how companies are built. You can think of it like building with different Lego blocks, They can be structured in a couple of different ways. For your exam, we're going to focus on the 2 main types.
So, the first type is the functional structure. This one's pretty straightforward. You just group all the experts in one area together. So all the marketing people are in the marketing department, all the production people in production, and so on. This is absolutely fantastic for specialization. And then we have the divisional structure. Now, in this one, a company creates completely separate divisions for each major product it makes. A great example is what Wipro did, right from our textbook. It's like each division becomes its own little mini company. Now, have a good look at this slide. This is where it gets really interesting, because this table clearly lays out the big differences. For your exam, here's the main takeaway. Functional is usually cheaper because you're not duplicating work, but it's really hard to pinpoint blame when something goes wrong. On the other hand, divisional is more costly, but it's super easy to see who's responsible for profits or losses.
Okay, inside any company, you're always going to find 2 types of groups, or organizations. One is the official one, created by the management, and the other one, well, that one just happens.
So think of it this way. The formal organization is the official rulebook, the official structure. But the informal one, that's the network of friendships. And let me tell you, it is powerful, because information here spreads like wildfire. Just like gossip.
Let's be real. A manager can't do everything all by themselves, right? Of course not. And that's where the magic of delegation comes in. This is a super, super important skill.
So what is it? Simply put, it's when a manager gives a team member the power, the authority to get a task done. But, and this is a big but, always remember, the manager is still the one who is ultimately responsible for the final result.
And delegation has 3 key elements. A simple way to remember them is power, duty, and answer. Authority, the power, flows downwards, but responsibility and accountability, the duty and the answer for the outcome, they always flow upwards, from the team member back to the manager.
Okay, now this is a really important one. Please don't get delegation and decentralization mixed up. It's simple. Delegation is a one-to-one thing between a manager and a team member. Decentralization is much bigger. It's a company-wide policy of pushing decision-making power down to lower levels. And now for my favorite part. Let's take everything we've just learned and apply it to a real, typical exam question. You're about to see just how easy this can be.
All right, here's the situation. This is a classic case study question. So Neha is adding more products, bags and clothes, to a shoe business. What does that immediately tell you? What structure should she be thinking about?
And here, my butchos, is how you get full marks on this question. You confidently recommend the divisional structure, and then you back it up with these super strong reasons. The key is that each product line gets its own boss, which makes managing everything and holding people accountable crystal clear.
And there you have it. See? I told you it wasn't so bad. We've covered the whole process, the different structures, the magic of delegation. We even aced a case study question. You've got this.
So, as you revise, I want you to think about that. A good plan is important, for sure, but without good organizing, even the best plan can fail. You are totally prepared for this chapter now. Go and absolutely ace your exams, my dear students. All the best.